Welcome to Goat Island. I am your host, the Big Ka Huzzi, and this is your weekly sports. Back the badge, back the country, back the team, or club, both football and rugby. Back the damn boys. Now, last week there were two fixtures in international rugby, with South Africa taking on Italy and the All Blacks taking on France. And the game at Loftus in Pretoria had the final score of 42-24 to the Bokke. Clean 40-piece with sides. Bokke played like it was Heritage Day, bro. Flying tackles, silky offloads, big bodies running, riot. The Italians looked like they ordered a 5-course beating. Respectfully, lekker stuff. And in the All Blacks match against France in Dunedin, the final score was 31-27 to the All Blacks. You thought France had a chance? Please. That's Kiwi land, bro. That's mana. That's black jerseys with ancestral trauma. Tight game, but we called it right. Dub secured. France got sent home with a silver croissant and bruised egos. Now, this week, those same boys of ours, the Bokke and the All Blacks, are playing again against the same international sides. So this week, it's South Africa versus Italy. This time, Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in GQ, because we're not saying that name. And kickoff is the exact same time, 5:10. We're running it back, second leg of the Italian job. Book about to put a boot in that pasta and stir the sauce again. Expect more tries, more fans, more pain. And New Zealand versus France. This time at Sky Stadium in Wellington. And again, kickoff is the exact same time at 9:05. And since France is a top 5 rugby nation, every time they are played against by the Bokke or All Blacks, we gotta make a prediction. So this week, same prediction, same outcome, All Blacks by daylight. Wellington crowd, different beast. After that Dunedin dub, these boys are rolling like a boulder down a hill. France finna get clipped twice. Call it a baguette body bag. And next, this ain't boxing, this ain't casual. This is blood, legacy, and aura. This is the UFC. This is Goat Island. Fighters, ready? Before we step in the cage, let's talk about what just jumped out of it. Tweets, rankings, scandals, and one man diving headfirst back into the piss pool. John Jones just pulled a classic John Jones. Retired like your favorite uncle at the end of the bride. Then 2 days later, I'm back. Man re-entered the USADA testing pool like he forgot he left the oven on. Ain't no way he's done until he face plants in the cage or gets arrested mid-walkout again. And on the other end of chaos, Ilya 2 belts. Tuporia just became the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Over Islam, over everyone. The same guy who flatlined Oliveira like a meme is now officially him. He's got the hands of McGregor, the discipline of Khabib, and the aura of a final boss. Ilya's not just a champ, he's the prototype. Now, we place the bets and talk that shit. We're looking at the biggest fight night and the nastiest pay-per-view this month. And if you're building a parlay, copy carefully or cry violently. First, the UFC Fight Night we're calling this month is UFC Fight Night Whittaker versus Dorita, 27th of July. In the co-main event, it's Movsar Evloev versus Aaron Pico. And in this one, we are predicting Movsar to win by decision. Too clean, too composed. Pico's got hands, but Movsar's built like a flightless eagle with 15 minutes of smothering in the tank. And in the main event, it's Robert the Reaper Whittaker versus Reina Dorita. And we're predicting Bobby Knuckles by TKO within 2 rounds. Dorita's moving up like he forgot what middleweights do with knees and hooks. Whittaker's sending him back to the grappling room with a nosebleed and regret. And the pay-per-view of the month that we're predicting is UFC 318. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier for the BMF title in Dustin's last dance. 20th of July in New Orleans. And the first fight on the main card is Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. And we're predicting Zellhuber to win. MJ's a vet, but he's got more L's than a rapper with a SoundCloud debut. In the second fight, it's Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov at middleweight, and we're predicting Paulo Costa juice-free but still juicy. Kopylov's good, but Paulo's due for a headline and a finish. Now, the third fight of the main card is Ateba Gautier versus Robert Valentin. And our prediction is Ateba to win. We don't know him, but the name sounds like he punches with philosophical vengeance. And if you've seen his last finishes in the UFC, you'd pick him too. And now in the co-main event, it's Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. And our prediction, Pitbull by TKO within 2 rounds. Legend versus solid gatekeeper. Ige's heart is massive, but Pitbull is built different. Compact rage with leg kicks and violence. The main event, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier for the BMF title. And our prediction, Dustin the Diamond Poirier to win, TKO inside of 3 rounds. Holloway's the BMF champ right now, but he got flatlined by Ilia Topuria. And Dustin, he's walking into his final war. And like the song says, diamonds are forever. That pressure, Holloway's gonna bring it, but the diamond's leaving with the belt and maybe a speech that breaks the timeline. Now, Hunter Campbell's the matchmaker, but we got the matchmaking sauce. 2 fights, 2 options, and 1 mission. Put the welterweight division back on demon time. Now, we said it, the 170-pound division is in the trenches, and even though the UFC just announced Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena, we ain't seen a date. So until then, here's what we'd pitch if Hunter would just pick up the phone. Our first title fight we make is Jack Della Maddalena versus Shavkat Rakhmonov for the welterweight gold. And why? You want to bring back the pain to 170? This is how. JDM's the slick striker. Shavkat's the most dangerous finisher on a win streak with murder in his eyes. No more point fights, no more footsie. If this one goes 5 rounds, it'll be the 5 rounds of blood and post-war trauma. You either break the streak or you crown the undefeated. That's it. And option number 2, Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. Now, how would you make this title fight if neither of them are the welterweight champion? Well, easy. Hunter calls JDM is play sick, play injured. Islam has already vacated lightweight and Ilia has gotten that title. So Islam walks in with purpose and gets handed the promised title opportunity, but this time it's for the interim title. Ilia moves up for a 3rd division and 3rd belt. This is pound for pound violence. It's Conor versus Khabib energy with no dead weight. It's money, legacy, and the most technical clean murder matchup in UFC history. And it doesn't mess with the rankings. It just gives so many more opportunities for the division moving forward. Now it's time to throw hands with history. Welcome to our Marvel style multiverse of what ifs and missed punches. First stop, what if Khabib took what was his before Conor ever touched it? What if Khabib fought for the title at UFC 205 instead of Conor? Back in 2016, Khabib had signed 2 contracts to fight Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight title, but the UFC picked Conor instead. And one of those contracts was for UFC 205. The rest was history. Or is it? See, if Khabib got that shot, he destroys Eddie Alvarez. I mean, we know that now. Let's not lie to ourselves. That means he becomes champ a year and a half earlier than he does against Ayacuinta. That means Conor never becomes the double champ because Conor became the double champ at UFC 205, which means for him to fight for the second belt, he has to fight Khabib. And we already saw how that went. So that massive 2016 power move never happens. That rivalry might have never popped off. The send me the location error, delayed or deleted, because the first thing that got Khabib calling Conor out was the fact that he took his spot at 205. That was the first thing. So if that doesn't happen and Khabib fights and gets the title, he has no reason to call him chicken. And the lightweight division shifts forever. Khabib's legacy gets even bigger than it already is because now he's got that much more title fights, and the UFC might have never blown up like it did, because that is what took Conor to that next level, and with it the UFC. That's how big this one move was. If it's smoke you want, we've got fire. This is what's cooking in the squared circle. And on Goat Island, wrestling isn't fake, just scripted violence with legacy on the line. Now, we're not reading the tea leaves, we're reading the crowd, the booking sheets, and the mood swings of TKO's board of directors. Let's call it like we see it before the first bell rings. And the PLE we are calling for this month is Saturday night's main event, 40. Saturday, the 12th of July from Atlanta, Georgia. And we've only got 3 matches so far. But that's what we're gonna call. Can't be waiting around for Triple H to make last minute matches and then expect predictions. I'm not Sam Roberts. So the first match is Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. And our prediction is Drew McIntyre winning clean as a Highland blade. Orton's on a bad streak and it's starting to look like the Viper's shedding skin again into a heel. Drew needs that W like SA needed load shedding to stop. He's due, he's starving, he's gonna feast. The second match on the card announced is LA Knight, versus Seth freaking Rollins. And we're predicting Seth Rollins to win with interference, of course. This ain't solo, that's Heyman-backed squad of misfits need a damn win. And Seth taking the W here with Bronson, Braun, and the Big Paul plug means LA Knight takes the L. But climbs closer to a real push. He's still over, but this ain't his night. And the third match announced, which is the match around which this card is currently being built. The main event, the show closer, is Gunther versus Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship. And we're predicting Gunther wins. No funny business. Goldberg's last match, say less. This is legacy passing like a rugby ball in the rain. Rough, stiff, and straight to the chest. Gunther's reclaiming gold with the kind of violence that sends a thank you card to WCW. Goldberg gets clapped. Curtains. And now it's who's the GOAT? This week, no outsiders, no freebies. This week is just family, from coconut oil and bare feet to Gucci suits and tribal tats. Welcome to the island of relevancy. We're looking at the bloodline. And the question, what is the best catchphrase of the bloodline? And I'll pick, it doesn't matter what you think from The Rock. Go pick, let's be honest. You wanna argue? Cool. Tell me what you think is a bigger catchphrase than this one. It doesn't matter what you think. Exactly. The Rock said what every underpaid worker, every side chick, every person stuck in traffic has ever wanted to scream. And the best part, you could say it in real life and no one thinks you're role playing. It wasn't a promo. It was therapy. GOAT status confirmed. The Great One did that. Mic drop with sunglasses on. Now we have to give an honorable mention to We the Ones from our GOAT Roman Reigns. Cool, yes. Chantable, definitely iconic, getting there, but it still bows to the people's champ. Believe that. Next, this ain't just gym talk. This is for the growth, for the graft. This is for the gains. It's the first week of the month, and you know what that means. Time for the mom, the muscle of the month, because by the time we're done with it, you'll be breathing heavy, sore all over, and calling for mommy. And the muscle of the month for July, it's back. Why? You know, you ever seen a great body with a weak back? Neither have we. Your chest might, walk into the room first, but your back, that makes people stare after you walk past. And for some reason, man, these lats aren't letting, you know? I'm not feeling the pump. You know, the wings lately haven't been winging, especially on this side. Feels like it missed the memo and called in sick. And we're not about to walk around with asymmetrical order. Plus, let's be honest, we may not be trying to step on stage, but we're definitely trying to Red Bull the shit and give ourselves wings. Big ones, wide ones, thick ones, the kind that shadow over a squat rack when you walk by. It's not about ego though. It's about balance, power, and that V-taper that splits t-shirts like a storyline cliffhanger. This month we train back like it owes us money. Lads, traps, brown boys, the whole damn crew. And we're doing it for one reason only. For the gains. That's a wrap for this week's Sports Drop. You should probably, like and subscribe. And if you have any thoughts, drop a comment. And from Goat Island, this is the Big Ka Huzzi. Check you again.